Kamala Harris. So tune in all month right here on First Take as we recognize Black History Month in historically black colleges and universities. To the NBA we go. Kings guard De'Aaron Fox had some harsh words for the league considering a potential all-star game during the pandemic, calling the idea stupid. Following last night's win over the Nuggets, LeBron James was also asked about the idea of having an all-star game. LeBron, floor is yours.
I have zero energy and zero excitement about an all-star game this year. I don't even understand why we're having an all-star game. Short off season for myself and my teammates with 71 days. And then coming to this season, we were told that we were not having an all-star game. So we had a nice little break, 5 days from the 5th through the 10th, an opportunity for me to kind of recalibrate for the second half of the season, my teammates as well, some of the guys in the league. And then they throw an all-star game on us like this and just breaks that all the way up. So pretty much a kind of a slap in the face.
Stephen A., should there be an NBA all-star game played this season?
Respectfully speaking, I would say no. I don't disagree with what LeBron James had to say. Now, I would say I find it a bit perplexing that last time I checked, he definitely is first vice president of the NBA Players Association, unless something has changed and I missed it. If I did, I apologize, because I don't pay too much attention to that portion of things. I know Chris Paul is the president. Him and LeBron are very tight. They've known each other for years, and why they don't seem to be on the same page, I don't understand it, because the NBPA, led by Chris Paul and executive director Michelle Roberts, have been negotiating, and the anticipation is that there will be an all-star game March 7th in Atlanta, Georgia. And that last part is where I definitely side with LeBron James in this respect. Why Atlanta? In the state of Georgia, we all recognize the fact that safety protocols and things of that nature in regards to COVID-19 have been a bit lax compared to places like California, New York, and various other places throughout the United States of America. That's why LeBron James used the word open to describe what kind of environment exists there. Fans are still coming in attendance, not to full capacity, obviously, or anything like that, but things are relatively open in Georgia. Businesses are open. People walking the streets. Folks are being accused of not paying as much attention to COVID-19 as some experts, some scientists, some medical professionals would prefer. We've all talked about this. We've all lamented it. So when LeBron brings that up and he's talking about, the superstars of the NBA descending upon one locale, why would it be that? And the fact that is a question that he has makes it incredibly, incredibly legitimate. He brought up the 71 days off. I understand for him, and I empathize with him because he's the champion and he was the last one standing, Max. But I don't empathize with the rest of the NBA in regards to that. You had a 4-month break from the time the season was suspended in March because of COVID-19 until you came back in July. When you came back in July, most of y'all were going by August, if not early September. So I don't want to hear that as an argument for the league itself. For LeBron, yes. For the rest of the league, no. But when it comes to what he brought up about COVID-19, safety protocols, lack of attention to detail as it pertains to that emanating from the state of Georgia and specifically the city of Atlanta, he brings that up. It's hard to argue with that point that he's making. That much I will say. So I can't say I disagree with him, and I can't say that his points are invalid. I wouldn't have handled it the way De'Aaron Fox handled it by calling it stupid, because remember, Chris Paul and the Players Association are talking about how this is going to benefit HBCUs, revenue generated from it is going to benefit HBCUs, and COVID-19 relief. So it's definitely a worthy cause, and that shouldn't be ignored. And guys like De'Aaron Fox, who were not playing deep into the postseason, obviously, because they didn't make the postseason.
And are very young.
And are very young. I don't want to hear that. But for LeBron, I totally understand where he's coming from.
This is a debate.
Through the hoop, just that thing itself.
The number doesn't, doesn't do much, for me. I think it's just the association with a legend like Will Chamberlain. That does something for me, because I'm a guy who grew up, reading about the game, studying the game, studying the players, the post press, past and present. So I wanted to see who was dominant in their era, or who laid the groundwork for young kids like myself who started to play the game when I was 9 years old. and Will obviously was a big staple of that. So. Defense has definitely been trying to stop me from putting the ball in the basket throughout my career, and I've been able to, for the majority, been able to score a few buckets and then have my name linked with some of the greats that ever played this game of basketball. So, just very humbling. It always gets me thinking about my upbringing and growing up in Akron, Ohio, and things of that nature. So, pretty cool feat.
You've also spoken about wanting to take out any weaknesses in your game and the evolution, and thinking about the field goals made earlier in your career, probably more at the rim. You're still scoring at the rim, but to add the three-pointer to this degree, to be shooting over 40% at this point of the season, how does that hit you as that point of pride for the career?
I've never put a ceiling on my ability to continue to get better, and I've always had a growth mindset on how I can get better with my game. And I wasn't too fond of the short off season because I didn't really get an opportunity to kind of dissect a part of my game where I wanted to get better at. But I use the time wisely, and mostly for my body, mostly for my mind, with the short off season, but also just come back a better player, and I feel like I'm a better player than I was last year. I feel like I can beat the defense at any facet once I cross half court. I think it's just it makes our team that much better when I can improve, and I feel like I've improved my game.
Okay.
LeBron, you said obviously that scoring mark tonight, but your passing seemed to change the game somewhat in the third quarter. And when you're doing it against a guy like Jokic, who gets so much credit for that, rightfully so, you've credited his passing in the past. Is there any game within a game? Is there any satisfaction in having impressive passes against a guy who's known for doing the same thing?
No, I think my job is to put the ball on time and on target, and not turn the ball over. I'm not going to have some turnovers, but for the majority, put the ball on time, on target to my guys, either for layups, for threes, for dives, for cuts, and that's my job. And I would probably say it's the same for Joker as well. We do take chances that a lot of people in our league don't take, but we have the ability to connect on a lot of those things. So we take those chances, and the best thing about it is we have some really good receivers, and our receivers run their routes, and we just try to put it there where they can catch it and not the defender. So and that's what it comes down to.
Kyle.
Yeah, LeBron. There were some defensive effort plays that really stood out, like Dennis doing the double dive for the loose ball and forcing the play clock violation, and Kuz coming back blocking Michael Porter Jr. from behind. I'm wondering, did those plays make a difference in sparking the team, especially as you guys started getting more stops on defense and locking down that third quarter?
Absolutely. I mean, you just said it best. I mean, we hang our hats on our defense. We're the number one defensive team in the league, and we want to continue that. That's what we hang our hats. When we're playing well, we defend it. We're flying around. We helping one another. You just said to see Menace dive for a loose ball twice in the same possession. You've seen Kuz come back into the fray and get a charge on JaMychal Green. Also get a block shot on Monty Morris coming back into play. Guys were just flying around. I thought our bigs did a great job on Joker tonight, just trying to keep a body in front of him, make him take some tough shots. And our guards did a hell of a job too on Murray, even though he hit some tough shots, but just trying to keep a body in front of him. And we all just try to do our part. We all try to do our part, work on the string. It's 5 guys on the floor, and we try to work together. And when we do that, we're very, very good.
Last 3 here. Dan.
Hey, LeBron. Kind of two sort of quick ones, maybe. We'll see. I guess that's up to you. The first question is, there's going to be an All-Star game, and I'm just kind of curious as to your sort of level of interest / excitement about that. And then, on a totally different note, you talked about not having a ceiling for yourself, and you said it a few times. What's there still left to do? What's there still, like, where do you want to get better still as you continue to play?
Well, I'll answer the second question first. For me, for my game, I don't really put a list together. I kind of break it down after the season, see, okay, where was I less efficient at? Where can I be more efficient at? And I just, like I said, I've said it over and over. I don't try to put a ceiling on my game. How ways I can improve: ball handling, free throw shooting, 3-point shooting, low post posting, front back to the basket, face up, mid range, coast to coast, things of that nature. Just things that will always keep defenses, off balance. How do we try to stop them? And for me, I feel like if I'm the most complete player I can be, then it makes our team even more dynamic. So, that's just my thinking. To their second question, I have zero energy and zero excitement about an All-Star game this year. I don't even understand why we're having an All-Star game. But it's the agreement that the Players Association and the league came about. Short off season for myself and my teammates was 71 days. And then coming to this season, we were told that we were not having an All-Star game, so we had a nice little break. 5 days from the 5th through the 10th, an opportunity for me to kind of recalibrate for the second half of the season, my teammates as well, some of the guys in the league, and then they throw an All-Star game on us like this and just breaks that all the way up. So pretty much a kind of a slap in the face. We're also still dealing with a pandemic. We're still dealing with everything that's been going on. And we're going to bring the whole league into one city that's open. Obviously, the pandemic has absolutely nothing to do with it at this point when it comes to that weekend. Obviously, you guys can see I'm not very happy about it, but it's out of my hands. And, I'll be there if I'm selected. But I'll be there physically, but not mentally.
Okay, last two. Bill?
LeBron, you guys. Sorry.
Great, man. I tell you, got the whole Burt Reynolds thing going on, Bill, right now, man.
It's not the whole Burt Reynolds thing, but I appreciate it. You guys get, I think, often just kind of cast as being a great team because you have such great top end talent with you and AD. But when you look at those hustle plays and the contributions you've gotten from Alex this year, the way Kuz's game has evolved and Talon, where did you guys find, or how big of a part of your identity are those hustle plays and kind of the dirty work that you guys are able to do kind of as a collective unit?
Well, I mean, if you really literally sit down and watch a game of ours, you will see that it's more than just talent. I mean, obviously, talent will take you to a point